First thing you're going to need to know is Phineas Gage. He had frontal lobe damage, and this taught us recovery of function and localization of function. Localization of function is when damage to a specific brain area modifies a function. For example, Phineas Gage was damaged in his frontal lobe, and this modified his personality. Recovery of function is after brain damage and often uses a different portion of the brain to complete the task of what the damaged portion used to do. So with Phineas Gage, he used different portions of his brain to then modify his personality back to the kind, nice person he originally was. In neuropsych, behavior is defined as cognition, affect, and overt action produced by the nervous system activity. Essentially, behavior is just the response to the external world, whereas the brain is just creating this map, this representation of that world. Now, very important, you're going to need to know the difference between the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. It's really simple. The central nervous system has the brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is pretty much everything else. It's all the associated nerves in the body. Now, this is a good moment to bring up the difference between sensation and perception. Sensation is when you're transducing a signal from the external world into your brain or into your body, and then your brain is essentially processing or perceiving all that information. So essentially, starting with something simple and building to that complex conclusion where you're taking all this data and stimuli from the environment surrounding you, that's all bottom-up processing. Where top-down processing is when you're taking all the context and the knowledge and your expectations, and you're recognizing these patterns, and you're using the context around you to see what this world actually is. But what you see isn't always what you get. If you're looking at the Hermann grid illusion, you can see these illusions of gray spots in the white areas between the square vertices. This is produced by lateral inhibition in the horizontal cells of the retina, and it just goes to show that your sensation isn't always as accurate as we wish it could be. Your eyes transduce the signal from light into a signal your brain can understand, and during this, there is some quality loss. Now, breaking away from sensation and perception and leaning back towards neuropsych, we come across this word called neuroplasticity. Essentially, this is where the nervous system, structure, and function can change in response to experience. The previously held idea was that the brain was a physiologically static organ. This is not true. With neuroplasticity, the brain is dynamic and ever-changing. Neuroplasticity incorporates brain plasticity, cortical plasticity, and cortical remapping. This all includes synaptic creation and pruning. It's an adaptive mechanism. Now, synaptic creation is probably one of the most important things in neuropsych because of the fact that without synapses, you wouldn't have a neural circuit, and a neural circuit is the smallest unit of behavior. So if you ever asked what's the smallest measurement of behavior, it's a neural circuit. It's not a neuron, it's not an atom, it's a neural circuit. And without all these synaptic connections, you wouldn't have neural circuits, and you wouldn't have different circuits to compare to and have different responses, different behaviors, and different thoughts. And that really is what incorporates the difference between just random cells and an actual person with a personality.